Well, there have been a lot of talk about Haiti and the Haitian gangs, and the fact that Haitian gangs have been targeting this one specific place called Petion-Ville for quite some time. And we've been talking about the attacks that these Haitian gangs have been waging at Petion-Ville since November 28th of 2024, where there was a massive attack by the Haitian gangs towards Petion-Ville. They tried to take over Petion-Ville via the main highway to go to Petion-Ville from the center of Port-au-Prince, but they were not successful. And that was Barbecue's attack under the Vivan Sam. Barbecue wanted to take over Petion-Ville. Then we came and spoke about the Tosel gang and the attempt at Petion-Ville that also failed. And then we came and talked about ISO, the 5-second gang leader, who also tried to take over Petion-Ville but failed. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you about the instances that the Haitian gangs have tried to take over Petion-Ville, what happened. In fact, just last week, there was an attack at Kenskoff in the view of taking over Petion-Ville again. So in this video, I'm going to tell you also about why these gangs are aiming at Petion-Ville. Many have asked that question in the comment section. And in this video, I'm going to answer you on why these gangs are really aiming at Petion-Ville to take over Petion-Ville more than any other place in Port-au-Prince, that Petion-Ville has been the prize of these gangs. Well, this is bona fide. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and hit that notification button so that when I release something new on Haiti, you get notified as soon as possible. Well, the Haitian gangs have increasingly targeted Petion-Ville. On November 28th of 2024, there was a massive attack at Petion-Ville that led to the loss of lives of 28 gang members. This is the point at which the residents of Petion-Ville came up together and say that we don't want gang influence in our region. We don't want this to be another gang territory in Port-au-Prince that will be ruled by gangs. And the residents who worked together with the police, as reports had it, they came together, and that attempt by Barbecue to take over Petion-Ville flopped when 28 gang members lost their lives. And that happened just on the streets. And it took place for quite a few hours before all that peace was regained in Petion-Ville. Schools were closed, banks were closed, hospitals were not working at that particular time. And it was a total standstill at Petion-Ville. But the residents of Petion-Ville, together with the Haitian National Police, overcame that threat at Petion-Ville. Then again, we talked about the Tosel gang that tried as much as possible to go into Petion-Ville from a different route, but they failed again to go and take over Petion-Ville. Again, the 5-second gang, ISO, just about 3 weeks ago, tried to go to Petion-Ville via a different route, but he also failed. Just last week, and the start of this week, we were talking about the Kenskoff issue and how the gangs have really tried to go to Kenskoff and destabilize the peace there. And they say, the Vivan Sam say that this is now our route to go to Petion-Ville. So many were asking, why are these gangs very much interested in Petion-Ville? Well, this is the reason. These gangs have been really invested in taking over the entire of Port-au-Prince. But most of these times that we're talking about these gangs being in different territories, you'll realize that most of these territories are low-income territories like Delma. That is the significant situation in Haiti, where you find that many of these gangs are taking over territories that have people with low income. They sell their mandate there, they sell their way of thinking, and it gets to be bought because many of the people there have not felt government influence for quite some time, and they want that glimmer of hope that the situation can change at any time so that they can have a better life. But still, many of the people who are also in these low-income areas do not support the gangs or what the gangs are doing, because they are the same people who sometimes get kidnapped. They're the same people who feel the brunt of these gang influence in their territories. So most of these gang territories are low-income territories. But what is now different, the different strategy that we are seeing these gangs trying to do at Petion-Ville, by them going at Petion-Ville, is that they are now changing their strategy to go to a much well-off area. Petion-Ville is a wealthy suburb in Port-au-Prince. It is not a low income as other places where these gangs have taken hold. This is a different territory. This is a different way of thinking by these gangs. And the reason as to why they are targeting Petion-Ville is because when these gangs go to a territory, everything that is in that territory belongs to that gang leader. So these gang leaders know that when they go to a wealthy area like Petion-Ville, they are going to have much, much more compared to what they have right now in Delma or in Torsel or other places where these gangs are already taking hold and ruling these territories. So for quite some time, these upscale suburbs in Port-au-Prince and elsewhere in Haiti have not been feeling what other people have been feeling in Port-au-Prince and larger Haiti when we are talking about gang influence and gang territories. And this is now the change in strategy that we are seeing these gangs taking. Now they're going to Petion-Ville. And the police have been very, very adamant that they will not allow this gang to take over Petion-Ville. And while there are two main or major motivations for the gangs to take over Petion-Ville, one is they know, as I said earlier, they know that Petion-Ville is an affluent area. It has businesses, it has a booming economy. And whoever controls this sort of a booming economy will have a lot of cash, will have a lot of money in their banks. That is why these gang leaders are at loggerheads going at Petion-Ville. If one fails, the other one sees an opportunity to go there. If the other fails, the other one sees an opportunity to go and take over Petion-Ville because they know that whatever will happen in Petion-Ville, whatever business will be going on in Petion-Ville, they will have a stake. This is the same thing that the Torsel gang has been having in Torsel, that whatever is happening in Torsel, if you have a business, if you're conducting any kind of transaction, you will have to pay taxes. If you're moving from one point to another, you will have to pay tolls on highways so that you can benefit these gangs. And if you're going to an economy that is well off, if you're going to places where people have a lot of money, then it means that you're going to also have a lot of money in your bank if you're controlling that territory. And the second reason and the second motivation for the gangs to go at Petion-Ville is that Petion-Ville has a lot of government officials living there, residing in Petion-Ville. They have infrastructure that is critical to Haiti in Petion-Ville. And when the gangs take a hold of Petion-Ville, it means that they will have more leverage against the government. They can control the government. In fact, they want to challenge the government more directly as these areas host government officials and infrastructure so that they can move and sway the government their way, however they find more beneficial to them, so that they can grow their gangs and have more money in their banks. If they have control of a place like Petion-Ville where government officials reside, then it means that these government officials will have to sing their song. They will have to make sure that they abide by what they say because they have their entire neighborhood controlled by gangs. So these are the two major motivations, as well as the kidnappings and the extortions that will happen if they take over Petion-Ville. This is why these gangs are aiming at Petion-Ville. Of course, they are now controlling 85% of Port-au-Prince, meaning that it is only a small section, 15%, that is not controlled by gangs, Petion-Ville included. And now these gangs want to expand their territories. They want to take over Petion-Ville so that they can have more in their accounts, they can have more say. The gang leader that will have Petion-Ville, of course, will have more say even in the Vivant Sam itself. The Vivant Sam is a coalition of gangs, but these gangs, of course, the gang leaders have influence. You cannot compare Barbecue with other gang leaders right now in the Vivant Sam. Barbecue will have a lot of say compared to other gang leaders. So these gang leaders will now want to have a say, more say, and whoever controls Petion-Ville will have more say in the Vivant Sam and they will have more money in their banks.